Over the last decade, I've developed somewhat of an addiction to and a huge passion for this unique area in south central Utah. This is Capitol Reef National Park, and I'm back to complete a route known as the Beehive Traverse after just a few months ago having to bail on a repeat attempt due to really bad water conditions and an injury that happened from my friend Will falling on our second day on trail. Now, the Beehive Traverse is an unofficial route created by a local hiker and guide, Steve Howe, that connects the labyrinth of canyons of the Water Pocket Fold together for a 17-mile full-on adventure. I should note a bit of caution that this route is very remote. It's very rugged and requires a high level of navigation, and it presents obstacles and a challenge that could put hikers who aren't prepared in potentially dangerous circumstances. The geology of Capitol Reef National Park is unique, and it's a lot of what draws me to this area. It's rugged and beautiful, and the formations of the park create endless opportunities for exploration that also lend to a lot of solitude. So enjoy this tour through the canyons of one of my favorite places to hike in Utah. My friends, good evening from Capitol Reef National Park. It's been a wonderful day of hiking so far and a bit hotter than we expected it to be, but I'm coming at you now because we are at the spot of the Beehive Traverse route that I am back to conquer for try number 3 with my good friend Brigham. Good to be on the trail with Brigham. But we are standing in the spot. If you recall, a few months ago I was here with my friends Will and David, and we came to this spot after getting water from a pothole that had a dead bird in it, and things are much better this go around than the last time. We're dealing with a lot more light and just less fatigue and just a better situation overall. Just up here behind me is where we camped, and it's a beautiful place, but we've got more trail to cover and things to do. So thanks for hanging out with me on this route again for this like redemption hike of sorts. Happy to be here. Grateful for the opportunity. Let's do it. Oh yeah. Dang, so pretty. So right now, we just came up over a ridge and are dropping into a canyon that is unofficially named Red Man Canyon. The hope and everything is that the water situation on this trip is better than it would have and was in the fall. Like I mentioned, we just passed the section where we grabbed water right next to our camp. It was the only water that we found at the time that had a dead bird in it. So let's hope that this big pothole that is just down the canyon from us holds a good amount of much fresher water than we would have had last time. So let's see what happens. Okay, we're just making our way down this big gully here, and it's a little tricky, but we've got a crux to manage, and that is that the pothole that had water in it, after a very, very dry few months, there's no water in it. And I am essentially out of water think Brigham has half a liter. And so things are just a little tricky right now. Got a few things marked on my map of potential water source, but I don't know. I hope it works out. I really, really hope it works out, because otherwise that makes things really sketchy, really nervous. And I don't know. I just don't know. So we'll see. Okay, so here on my ONX map is where I've got everything marked out. So we got a little bit more time to go down and before we would make a climb up out of here, but our next potential water source would be down this canyon a little bit. So we've essentially, we just got to keep walking and see if that has water. Otherwise, there might be water here or here. So we've got a few potentials, but outside of that, it's looking a little sketch. Oh, dude. No way.
Scrumptious, man.
Oh my gosh. Water. Brigham just walked right past the water. We know that's there. And we do need to keep walking. So if we have to come back and get water from there, we can do that. So let me just talk here for a second about ONX Backcountry, who is sponsoring this trip. It is a huge, huge resource to be able to put waypoints on a map, use satellite imagery to look at potential water sources so that you can have those marked on the map and not have to play a guessing game, because all the work that was done ahead of time to mark those points that I showed you on the map on ONX makes it so that you just have a bit more confidence instead of going in super blind and hoping that there's something there. So I want to thank ONX for their support of the channel and making it so that I can go out on trips like this and just be more confident, enjoy myself more, and enjoy being able to navigate with something that is also super reliable. Well, we found water just down the canyon from where we were at. Not the best water, not the worst water, but I've got 4 liters to work with, which is, man, I was completely out of water. And we're just, I don't know, a couple hundred yards from our campsite. And there is rain in the forecast, so water the rest of the trip should not be a concern. It was like prevalent enough in these lower canyons, and the rest of the trip is in a bunch of the lower end of the canyons where you're going to have more potholes. So knowing that, it should be a lot easier to find water. But we made a decision that any water that we find, we are going to stop and like top off, because it could be hot tomorrow, and just want to make sure that we're not just passing by things and then have to mess with it later. There's these little black flies that are absolutely driving me nuts. They bite and they burrow into your skin, and they're not fun. So anyway, let's go to camp. Let's get things set up here and get it figured out. Look at that view. Wow. Woo, baby. Well, we got the tent set up. We got the X Dome going on. And thank goodness for fully freestanding tents, because otherwise this would be a royal pain. The view is amazing. What a gorgeous place. The bugs are horrendous though. So we're crawling into the tent to get out of the bugs, to do our cooking, and it is 8:30. So that also means it's bedtime. So as soon as there's food in my belly, we'll just kind of hang out for a little bit. I got like pretty overheated and not feeling like I was feeling super nauseous in my tent as I was setting up my bed. I did not enjoy that. It is now 9 o'clock. I'm finally getting dinner going. It was a lot of work to do today. I'm pretty worn out, and I don't want to eat. I don't want to eat right now, especially a hot meal after feeling nauseous. But inside the X-Dome, got the Zendivi ultralight quilt. We're in bed, and yeah, it's just gonna be a cozy night. It really worked out well to make sure I brought a fully freestanding tent, like absolutely necessary for setting up the way we are. But I'm gonna enjoy my meal, go to bed. We'll see you in the morning. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Good morning to you. It is stunning today. Absolutely still calm. It's 7:20 right now, and just gonna get a nice, good early start to the day. Yeah, they are. Nicely done, though. All right, so right over here is where injury took place last fall. So this ledge right here is what Will fell onto, and then we cleaned him up down here. But looking at that now, like, what were we doing? Why did we choose that route? It's interesting to be back in this spot just a few months later and to look over at that and to make that comment of, like, what were we thinking? Feels so silly to say, but in the moment when things have been hot, you're tired, your decision-making processes like get affected. And so maybe that was the reason that we just went down that route instead of slowing down a little bit, backtracking and going up. And maybe that would have avoided an injury. I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, you can't change the past, but it is, I think, important to go through that process of what is your risk management, what is your decision-making process, and how do you make decisions in the backcountry when you're out on remote, rugged trips like this. Like, today's crux is going to be the heat and water again, but it's 8 o'clock in the morning and it is already quite warm. We've got a big, like, 2.5 mile uphill climb that's pretty exposed. So that adds to the element of the whole situation. So you have to take all those factors into play when you're out, so that you're making the best decisions possible given the circumstances. Yeah. I love this place so much. So I'm just looking at OnX here to kind of gauge where we're at for the day. Got a lot of terrain to cover before we get into this area, which is just over here on the other side of this first ridge that you see. We'll be in the canyon adjacent to that and making our way over to what is known as Blow Sand Canyon, and just kind of preparing for what we've got ahead. It's really exciting to be back in this spot because it's been a few years. It was 2018 when I was last here, so in a lot of ways it feels fresh because I don't remember all of it, but there's just enough to remember. Think like, oh, I'm looking forward to this thing coming up, or not looking forward to that big gully to scramble up. It's just a beautiful day in a beautiful place, and I'm super grateful for it. Oh, this canyon's getting cool. I am fresh out of water, so that means our next stop needs to be where there's good water, should we find it, and to eat some lunch. Get some calories in us, find some shade, and just relax for a minute. And I'll take this opportunity to explain what we're doing for the rest of the day. At this point, because of weather forecasted to be 100% chance of rain through tonight into tomorrow, we are walking to the car today. However long that takes, that's what's happening. And we're doing that to get ourselves out of the canyons and just keep ourselves safe, which is hard to believe that with how nice the sky is today and how hot it is, it's going to be rainy. So we'll see. Okay. Well, let's hope this goes. Last time I was here, we did bypass and go up the bench. This might slot up and just not even be an option if there's a pour off or something. Unfortunately, it's a bit more technical than we feel comfortable with, so we're going to work towards the bypass. Wow. We are at another section of narrow canyon that is known as the wader. At least when I was here in 2018, we were in water up to almost the belly button. And oh, there is water in there this time. This is wild. It's not the cleanest water. It might be take the packs off and pass them up
Okay.
kind of situation.
Yeah.
It's pretty narrow, and there's another like little section above this, but we got a chackstone in front of us to get up and over. This is a situation if you don't get to be picky. It's got all sorts of floaties in it, but it's the only water that looks clean. I seriously could cry right now. I cannot even begin to tell you how grateful I am for that water. I've been out of water for the last half mile, and it's yeah. Let's get this filtered and get some electrolytes going and just enjoy this small piece of shade that we've got for a few minutes. Water, electrolytes. I freaking love the Tailwind electrolytes. They are delicious. It's not the coldest water.
Yeah. I was just pleasantly surprised it wasn't hot.
Yeah.
Shallow puddles, man.
Oh my gosh, I'm so grateful for that. All right, time to get some calories. I was saving this for breakfast, but because we are going to the car today, whenever we actually get there. We've done 7.5 miles today, and we've been on the trail since 8 o'clock. It's 2:10 in the afternoon, but I'm gonna eat this berry smoothie from Packet Gourmet. It's a good way to get some hydration, some calories, and just feel better about having some water. That was rough. We're making our way to the base of Rabbit Ear Pass. And this thing is daunting to look at. It doesn't look like it goes. We were just now questioning whether or not it was the right spot for us to go up. Ouch. Ugh. But it's where we're supposed to be. I'll show you here in a second. It is hard to believe that this is passable and is what makes this route viable at this point. Holy shnikes. Where's Brigham? You ready for this?
Yeah, ready as I'll ever be. Ready to get up and over. Climbing ahead. Yeah, baby. It is so satisfying to be sitting right here. This is Blow Sand Canyon, and that is the last like really big hard climb of the day. We do have one more uphill, get over one more pass, and then we're down into what would be called Manzanita Canyon, which is so pretty. It's one of my favorite places, and I'm so stoked to be back here to check that out and see that again. What a stellar place. Eight miles to make this happen today. Love being back here. Made it to the aptly named Butt Crack. Make our way down it. How's Brigham think? I'll follow you down the crack, man. I will follow you into the crack. Might be, it's like a get on your butt. Made it down the butt crack. Lie, I am worn out. How do I look? Brigham said I looked like a maraschino cherry. We have finally made it down into the other main gorge, the main wash, with about a mile of walking to the trailhead. So this is more or less the end of the road, but we potentially have some road walking to do if we can't find a ride from the trailhead to where our car is parked. Oh man, any parting thoughts, Brigham?
It's a good adventure hike, man. Glad to have been invited by the, I don't know, we need to come up with a name for your desert prowess. But really though, grateful to have the opportunity to come with you, man. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Thank you for joining and just being a good, confident trail companion.
Well, thank you.
It's a big deal. But we didn't plan on that going this way and doing a massive day today. It's like 5,000 feet of elevation. It's easily in the 80s. It's hot, and we are easily dehydrated. But, you know, on big adventures like this, it's hard to like set up all the cameras and do all the work when it's hot and you're focused on just surviving through the route. But we got some cool stuff. So thank you for watching. You guys are amazing. And we'll catch you on the next one. See you later.